name is Stormy Wellington. I'm right here, actually born in New York, but raised right here in Miami, Florida. My last school before I dropped out of this school was New Orleans Senior High School. And I dropped out in the 9th grade. I'm not an advocate for being a high school dropout. However, my life circumstances put it to the point where I had to do what I had to do. I became a teenage mother at the age of 15. I had my first child, who is now 22 years young. And I tell you, it's just funny. God has a sense of humor that I'm speaking on millionaire mindset in one of my previous schools. But to me, it's even more ironic that I'm speaking at a church event. And I say that very humbly because I am not a pastor. A lot of people think that I'm going in the pastoral direction. I really don't want that responsibility because I'm very different. I'm very me. I believe in living life and enjoying life, and so I really don't want the pastoral responsibility. But I am a pastor to myself. And as we're talking about millionaire mindset, I hope that you guys are open-minded because I'm not really here just to talk about making money, but really the principles, the philosophies, and truly the mentality of what I had to do to go from high school dropout, previously Section 8, previously welfare, previously WIC, previously Robert Peter to pay Paul. I'm not ashamed to tell anyone I used to do credit card scams, I used to sell drugs, I used to dance at the famous Rolex right here around the corner. So everything that the world was saying should make me still be what I used to be. I made a decision to overcome all of that against all odds. Humbly today because a lot of people don't believe that it's possible. And when you get to the place in your life that you give up on yourself and you no longer believe in the possibilities of what God has in store for each and every one of us, and you forget that each and every one of us are unique, each and every one of us are special, and if you truly believe in God's word that He came that you can have life and have it more abundantly, I believe that this was my thought process literally since I was about 13, 14 years old, watching my mom sell drugs, watching my dad sell drugs. Those were my role models, watching my brothers sell drugs. I just believe that God truly believes that He created this world for us to have life and to have it more abundantly. And I never stopped believing that. And so I stand before you right now as someone that I average $4 million a year on an average. Yes. I am an author. Thank you so much. I've written several books. My latest project is my passion, my love. I'm so proud of this. It's called The 9 Laws of Success. This is my latest book. I've actually written about 6 books. Have another book that's in process right now. But I'm an author. People call me an inspirational speaker. I'm really not an inspirational speaker. I just speak the truth, and it so happens to inspire people. So I don't like limitations. I don't like titles because then you're put in a box. So I just speak from my heart. I don't have a notes about what I'm going to talk about today. Every time I went to start penning some notes, I had to come back to who I am. I am Stormy Wellington, and I speak my truth. I'm not going to tell you how to have a millionaire mindset because I read it in Think and Grow Rich, even though that was the very first book I read at 18 years old. And I encourage each and every one of you that really believe that life should be abundant, that you should definitely read the book Think and Grow Rich. But I don't have any notes from that book. I don't have any notes from the seminars and the workshops that I've attended. Literally, I've read over 100 books. However, what created me to be where I'm at right now, I believe, is that God had a plan and purpose for my life a long time ago. And I just believe, even since the young age of really like 10 years old, I always knew I was going to be a millionaire. So I want to ask this question, if you guys don't mind. How many of you all really still right now believe that you could be a millionaire? Just raise your hand for me. Keep your hand up, please. How many of you all used to believe when you was younger that you could be a millionaire, but you probably don't believe it anymore? Raise your hand if you remember being 10, 15 years old saying, that's my car, I'm going to be a millionaire, that's my house. Y'all remember that? So I don't really know what happens to us and what happens in our lives that make us forget the dreams and goals that we once had. And I can tell you all that I remember the moments in my life where I went through a very, really dark depression. I remember the moments in my life where I got married to someone that was never my husband in the first place. I remember the moments in my life where I stopped believing in me. And one day, I looked around my house, I looked myself in the mirror after becoming a millionaire and going broke. I can tell you one of the very worst feelings that you could ever have is having success, having money, and then losing it all. I promise you it's hard to survive that experience of once being rich, once having money, and then going broke. Some of y'all probably heard it saying, I've been rich and I've been poor, and I think rich is better, right? So I've been rich and I've been poor, but I really think rich is better. That's right. And so I looked up in 2009, I went from zero to literally making my first $1 million in 1 year. And of course, a lot of times when you make money, especially as fast as I did, you can make money, but it is imperative that you grow. A lot of people get into a place that they stop growing. They stop sowing. And I'm not just talking about, excuse me, Pastor Lee, I'm not just talking about sowing a tithe or sowing a seed in church. I'm not talking about just growing through Bible study and growing through going to church. I'm talking about there's something special that happens when you commit to grow. Can y'all say commit to grow? Commit to grow. I looked up and I had made $1 million in 1 year. And because I was not committed to grow, because I, again, was not committed to contribution. Say commit to contribution. Commit to contribution. You can never get to a wealthy place if you don't understand being committed to growth. And you can never get to a wealthy place until you understand that we're all supposed to be contributors. You're supposed to find a way to make an impact. And right now today, when I think about what happened to me after making $1 million, and as fast as I rose, as fast as I fell, is because I stopped growing and I stopped being committed to helping other people make their contributions. And so I looked up and I found myself overweight. I found myself broke. I found myself discouraged. I found myself lost. But I found myself in a place where I knew that I had it on the inside of me. I knew that I did it once before, and if I did it once before, then I could do it again. But what I had to do is I had to figure out what was that roadblock. What was that thing that was getting in my way that stopped me from doing what I once knew how to do? And what was that one thing that literally killed and destroyed my confidence? And I can't speak for nobody in this room, but I speak from my heart, and I tell you all that I was my worst enemy. I stopped believing that I was destined for greatness. I stopped believing that God had a purpose and plan for my life. And a lot of times we're so busy consumed with how do I pay the light bill in fear of the rent that you paid in November, and November's not even over, you're already worried about December. And I've learned that faith and fear cannot occupy the same space. And so when I got into the place where I stopped allowing myself to be in fear of what I didn't have, but I made a commitment and I made a decision that it was time for me to grow, is when things began to open up for me. And the only reason that I made the decision that it was time for me to grow, and if y'all can type this in your phone, I think this will bless you, is because I got into a place. I got into a place that I looked myself in the mirror and I said that I deserve better. How many of y'all here today, and you have an incredible weekend planned for you, really believe that you deserve better than what you currently have? Just raise your hand for me, please. I'm telling you right now, one of the greatest qualities that you can have is being grateful for what you have, but being in a place of realizing that I deserve better. I looked at the definition of deserve, and deserve is literally a reward or a punishment for something that you have done. I'm going to repeat that because this is important, and I'm sharing it with you because this is when it clicked for me. Deserve, the definition of deserve, is a reward or punishment for something that you have done. And so I'm going to break down this millionaire mindset, and I want y'all to write this down as well. The mind is the only limit. The sky is not the limit. Your mind is truly the only limit that you have. And the only person that can truly control your mind and put limitations on your mind is you. And so I'm going to break this thing down for you guys in 4 little strategies. And I'm giving it to you in a way in which it resonated on the inside of me. And I literally went from broke to depression to overweight to couldn't pay my rent, couldn't pay my car note, couldn't pay light bills, you know, a newborn son, couldn't buy Pampers, couldn't buy wipes, to literally 7 months after I had my awakening, making $1 million again in 7 months. And y'all should get excited because if God can do it for me, yes. So the first thing that I believe is that the first thing is preparation. Everything that you experience in life is preparing you for something. For some strange reason, we as a society, especially the African American race, and I know that there's other cultures in here, especially my right-hand girl, Mercy Joy. I always tell her she's an Oreo. She got a little soul in her. But really and truly, for some reason, I can only speak to my people, but I believe that something has happened to us that we play the victim all the time. Everything that has happened is never our fault. It's never something that we self-imposed, self-inflicted, we created. We always want to play the victim. And I've learned that you should never want to be a voluntary victim. So in terms of preparation, Stormy decided that I deserve better, right? And I decided that everything that I had experienced up until that point in my life was preparing me for something greater. Every environment, every room that I'm in, I either say to myself, what can I give to this room? And what can this room give to me? I am very intentional.
Yes.
I am probably one of the most intentional, inconspicuous people that you will ever meet. Because I don't look like your typical millionaire. You won't know that I have a 5,000 square foot home that I paid off because I made a decision that my family and I would never worry about having a home ever again.
That's right.
So the first thing I did with my money is I paid off my home. You wouldn't understand that Rolls Royce outside, Dawn, my second Rolls Royce in the last 3 years, was a car that I purchased because I believed that I deserved it, but I also wanted to prove to people, don't look at me and judge me and think I'm somebody that I'm not, because I don't look like the typical man, right? And so we just tend to want to be this victim all the time, and I'm telling you right now, power will overtake you when you get into a place that you realize why you are exactly where you are. Write this down. I believe that the thinking that you have been thinking is what has you exactly where you are. And if you like it, keep thinking like that. But if you don't like it, it's time for a shift. If you don't like what you are currently receiving, if you don't like how you're currently living, it comes a point in time in your life that you got to draw a line in the sand and become intentional and say, you know what? What has all of this been preparing me for, but why am I right here? And then you make a decision that if I'm right here and I realize that I thought myself into this position, I made decisions, because guess what? All of us decided to be in this room today. You decided to do whatever you did yesterday. So you could decide to be here, you could decide to be further along.
Right.
And so preparation, everything in life is preparing you for something greater. And everything that happens, I always tell people, things don't happen to you, they happen for you. Everything, every setback, every hater, every loss, every betrayal, every gossip that has been spread about you, everything for me, this is my philosophy, was preparing me for something greater. And so I used it and I recycled all of those things that were supposed to destroy me and I was supposed to be looked upon as just painful situations. I made a conscious decision that I was going to use it as power. So everything, my friends, that has happened, that's going to happen, that probably already happened, that you don't even know why we're talking about millionaire status, we're still trying to figure out how you're going to pay the light bill. Just know that this conversation was ordained by God and was prepared. That's right. So when my high school dropout, didn't graduate from school, dropped out and went back and got my GED. Number one, preparation. Every situation that you experience, ask yourself, why is this happening? Figure out why is it happening. And figure out the role that you played in it happening. Whatever you don't like, even in the betrayal, you have to know that there was a role that you played in even having a relationship with that person that betrayed you. Come on. Why are you talking about this when it comes to millionaire mindset? Because everything is about preparation. Everything is about preparation. And it ain't over until it's over. That's what I tell myself. And so number one. Number two, preparation goes. Preparation happens, you realize that everything in your life is preparing you for something greater, because we all believe that we deserve better, so everything is preparation. I always ask myself, you know, is this making me richer? Is this making me happier? Is this bringing me closer to God? So that's all a part of me preparing myself and making sure that I'm in the right mental capacity in every environment I put myself in. Number two is the test. That's what I say. So if you've been prepared, and you really believe that every setback, every pitfall, every obstacle, even every reward was preparing you for greater, that's like school. I mean, I might have dropped out in the 9th grade, but I knew that every test that I failed up until the 9th grade, I never prepared for it. So I was supposed to fail the test.
Yeah, that's right.
I was not supposed to be elevated to the 10th grade. I wasn't supposed to, be elevated to college because I didn't prepare and I didn't pass the test when the test came. So tests to me in life are going to constantly come. They're going to constantly come. I remember when I made my first million and I went broke. And I look back and I'm like, how do you become a millionaire? And then you go broke all over again. I know why. It's because I failed the test. And if you want to know what test I failed, I can tell you right now what test I failed. Number one, I forgot who gave me the blessing and the increase in the first place. I forgot that even though I did the work, I forgot that my increase came from God. Number one. When it came to passing the test, I forgot that, Stormy, you may have money, but there's still more work for you to do. There's other people that needs to be blessed by your voice, by your leadership, by your example. Never get into a place that you forget your humility, you forget to honor, you forget to love. If you already knew how to become a millionaire, hello, you would already be doing it. And so if you don't know how to do it, and that is your desire, and you believe that you deserve it, guess what you should do in order to pass the test? I was talking about this morning, and I always tell people this when I get into the space of feeling comfortable to share. One strategy that has changed my life is that whenever I get around someone that I want to be in their space, that I feel as if they have something to give me, and I have something to give them, I make sure that I bring value everywhere I go to the point where I become irreplaceable. You can't find another Stormy Wellington because you're either going to pay your way into good relationships with people who can take you to another level, or you're going to serve your way into good relationships with people that can take you to another level. So if God bless you with a good relationship with someone that can stretch you, that can open a door for you, that can help you to see life unlike you've ever seen it before, why would you fail the test of dishonoring that person? Why would you fail the test of not appreciating that person? Why would you fail the test of having the opportunity to be a contributor? Because we're all supposed to contribute to everybody else's life, in case you don't know that. Why would you be around Pastor D, Lady Kenya, Prophet Regina, and could do something to serve them, to help make life easier for them, but then you come around them and forget that they have something that can impart into your life. So I'm not preaching to try to give them no nuggets. Right. I'm trying to help my people in this room to understand that my greatest coach was a woman that didn't realize that I was tutoring her kids, but I really was picking up on the game. I would go to her house every day, I would tutor her kids, I would wash her dishes, I would clean her house. Because I wanted to learn, woman, you making $13,000 a month, I'm making $13 an hour. Let me just be around you so I can pick up on how you walk. I want to watch how you talk. I want to be in the room and listen to your conversation because you obviously talk different than I talk, but you make $13,000 a month. I make $13 an hour. So it's not what's taught, it's what's caught. I would wake up every day like I had a job, and I would go to this lady's house. I would literally wash her dishes. I would carry this lady's bags, and trust me, it was very humbling for me because I got some pride too. But I didn't care at that time in my life. Again, 11 years ago. I wanted to glean from her, and I did. Another relationship that changed my life was another gentleman. His name was Holton Buggs. This man makes about $2 million a month. A part of my test was I came around when he would give me information and share with me directions and insight on what I should do. I could have failed the test by being defensive. This is what a lot of us do. We get around people on another level, and when they try to make an impartation and give us constructive criticism or give us some insight, instead of us listening to what they say, we fail the test because we get defensive. You think I'm going to be defensive at $2 million and telling me something that I could be doing better? I'm like $2 million a month, please keep telling me what And so I would do every and anything within my power, y'all, to be around this man. Everything. And I would pay attention to how he treated his wife. I would pay attention to how he was with his kids. I would pay attention to the way he spoke. I literally used to try to emulate the way he walked, and I'm a woman, he's a man. But I wanted what he had. I didn't know who he was behind closed doors. That wasn't my business. I could care less. That's not my business. I wanted the money. This man was making $2 million a month. That is not something that I was accustomed to knowing, to seeing, to experiencing, or definitely to earning. I'm still not there yet, but I can tell you, being in that environment with him, I believe it was a test. I could have got around him and got really offended every time he tried to give me constructive criticism. And I have someone here that's actually one of my friends, but she's also one of my students. This young lady made $1 million in 17 months, and literally her and her husband both gave their job back to the economy. Her husband was an engineer, and right now you're talking about a young lady in 3 years that made $2 million. And she can tell you that sometimes I say stuff to her that probably makes her want to cry. But I can tell you right now, she is one of the top earners that I work with, because I have never had a conversation with this young lady. Her name is Pam McCray. Y'all give it up for her, please. I've never had a conversation with her, and I've been knowing her now for 10 years, and she got offended. And I know that she probably did, but she never let me know. Right. So I'm sharing that with you because when you are blessed to be around people that have more than you, I don't care if it's $50 more than you. Wow. If they're doing more than you, if they're living better than you, if they could be an example for you, you know, you really want to learn how to pass the test and appreciate being in the environment with those people. And in addition to passing the test, when life happens, because life is going to continue to happen to all of us, right? I don't care how much money I have or how much money anybody in here has, you're going to consistently have life challenges to come up against you. But if you are who you say you are, right? If you are who you say you are, you're going to handle those situations literally like a grain of salt, okay? And so all of these things plays a big role in having that millionaire mindset. My book, The 9 Laws of Success, is one of my favorite books. What's the name of my favorite books? My favorite book, The 4 Agreements, one of my favorite books. I encourage you guys to read that. The Strangest Secret, really great audio that you can listen to. Tony Robbins has a book called Unleash the Power Within. Amazing book. Get very good with reading books and setting your clock to read for 30 minutes a day. Listen to audio for 30 minutes a day. Napoleon Hill, Who Go Think and Go Rich, has an audio. It's called Your Right to Be Rich. This man has passed away over 100 years ago, right? His audio is timeless in teaching principles on your right to be rich. So that's another one you guys can get, audible.com. It's even probably on YouTube for free. You definitely want to start developing your mind and developing your mind for abundance. Okay, that's a part of passing the test. Another thing, number three is the planning phase of your life. If you want to have something, if you want to be prosperous, if you want, for example, to lose weight, right? You want to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, then why are you still eating the foods that's going to, prevent you from losing weight? So you got to plan. If you want to make if you want to be a millionaire, you got to decide that, okay, here's my life. For the first 20 to 30 years, I've made, I don't know, $25,000 a year, $35,000 a year, $50,000 a year. I want to make more than that. So this time around, I plan to make sure that I put myself in the right environment, that I do the right things, because I made a decision that 2019 is going to be better than 2018 was. And if that's your truth and your reality, that means you have to plan properly. You got to plan properly to make sure that you do everything in your power to ensure success in 2019. One of my strategies, and I wrote about it in my book, is called fight. Fight encompasses everything about Stormy. And I want you guys to know when I say fight, many people don't know this, but my mom was on the way to have an abortion with me. And my dad intervened and fate stepped in, and she missed her abortion appointment. And so I tell people all the time, jokingly, but being for real, that I had to fight to even be here. Kids, close your ears, but my dad told me the night that him and my mom got together, he had to fight to get with my mom. Hopefully y'all get on to that later on. So all my life I had to fight. And I accept and I embrace that because it helps me to stay focused and to stay being me. A lot of people tend to lose who they are because everybody else wants them to be what they want them to be. I can only be true to Stormy. So my tool that I fight with, number one, is faith. I believe that faith is power. I don't have the faith that you guys may think I'm supposed to have. I have Stormy Wellington's type of faith. And what do I mean? Why am I saying that? I'm going to tell you why. I'm always transparent. Pastor D has a very big sense of humor because he could not have paid me to come to church on a Saturday. and I'm saying that to you guys honestly, so I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for this platform. I'm staying for the day. I want to definitely hear Prophet Regina. Heard some amazing things about her. But people who who may not see me in church every Sunday. I travel a lot.
Right.
And I'm not going to go to church because everybody else thinks I'm supposed to go to church. If a church does not pull on me and sow into me and pour into me and grow me, I'm not going to go. Not for the sake of posting a picture on Instagram that I don't take somebody to church. So I read the Bible at home. I have church online. And so my faith is stronger than it may look like to the outside masses, to the physical eye. My faith is internal. Every day I wake up, and the number one tool I fight with is my faith. And so a lot of people go to church every Sunday, they go to church every Wednesday, and they have no results that they truly have faith. And I don't understand what's happening. Like, you have faith, but you're real negative. You have faith, but you're sick. You have faith, but you come to church and you bring your negative energy to your church. So I'm just a little disturbed with what I see happening. So, but me, I have faith every day. My faith activates every morning before I wake up. I say, Lord, I'm thankful. Lord, thank you for waking me up today. Every day, I have faith and I use my faith. So that's the number one tool I fight with in terms of my plan. The I in fight stands for intentional. I encourage you to be intentional. Every day you wake up, figure out what you want out of the day. You know, my mom used to always say, every drum that beat, you don't have to dance. To dance to the beat of your own drum. And so I figured out a long time ago that I'm here to make an impact. And so I'm not going, I'm not talking, I'm not going to the meeting, I'm not going to the party. If I can't be intentional in terms of making an impact, I don't want to go. So I have made a decision that I want to be impactful, and I will be impactful. So when Pastor D asked me about this weekend and nothing was on my schedule, I told Mercy quickly, and Mercy could tell you, I'm really about my money. So I don't get no coins or no check. I'm like, let me see. We'll put it on a scale as a possibility, on a schedule as a possibility. But at this stage in my life, my intent is to be impactful. If I could say one thing that makes somebody feel that it's possible, that's what I want to do. That's what I believe I was called to do. And so, of course, Pastor D, I'm there. I don't care if there's 2 people there. I believe everything big was once small. And I'm going to tell you, I'm very proud of this because I think that it took a lot of courage to do something like this. We had this own church. Just watching what's happening, and Mercy mentioned some things about last night, really and truly is amazing, because a part of having a millionaire mindset is you definitely got to have some courage to the point where people will say you're crazy. Say all the time. I be like, thank you, please, I'm saying I'm crazy, very crazy. But anyway, being intentional. What is it that you want? Before you go into 2019, I encourage you to, don't make a New Year's resolution. We've been making New Year's resolutions our whole life, and there's still ain't no resolution to the resolutions. I just encourage you to be intentional and to know that, it's interesting. My son said to me the other day, and it blew me away. My 22-year-old son, I have a 22-year-old son, y'all. He sent me a text, and he was like, Mom, do you know that there's no recollection and there's no readings on Jesus' life up to the age of 30? He said that to watch you, become something at literally the age of 30. I made my first million at 29. He said to watch your example and to watch you as much as you do for people. You are the example of Jesus to me in the house. Wow. And I say that to you guys because how many of you all have kids? That's something that we all strive to be a great example to our kids. And so my son is 22 years old. He can be a statistic, easily a statistic. But I'm grateful that I'm able to be intentional as an example for my son. Because I didn't have any examples when I was growing up. My mom sold drugs and my dad sold them too. Okay, so that was my role model. So just be intentional going into the new year. Know that everybody's watching. Social media has definitely opened up the windows to the world, and everybody's watching everything that you do. And you can either be somebody's example for greatness or somebody's excuse to settle. And so for me, I decided to live out loud, and I want to be the example. So when somebody looks at me, I'm intentional with knowing that I have inspired you to do something. The G in fight stands for gratitude. We have to learn, how to be grateful. I remember reading in the Bible, and I told Pastor D, I don't know where the scripture's at, so I don't want to say the scripture and get in trouble. I don't know what scripture, I have not memorized it. I don't even know Psalm 31. But anyway, I told Pastor D that, I read the Bible, and as I read the Bible, I always seem to memorize the things that I want to live by. And one of the things that I used to couldn't understand was when the Bible speaks upon pray without ceasing. I didn't really get that. Because I was thinking, how am I be making money working and if I'm praying all day long? So it really bothered me for a long time, and I don't know if anybody else thought about this, because that was like, everybody pray without ceasing, so you want me on my knees all day, how am I make the money, how am I put it up, how am I do what I got to do? And I realized that a grateful heart is in constant praise and worship. So every single moment of the day, you got to find something to be grateful for. Be grateful that you sit next to somebody that ain't asleep. Be grateful that you got a cell phone. The bill may not be all the way paid, but be grateful you have one. Be grateful you have clothes, you got shoes. Be grateful you're in your right mind. Be grateful that you're not on a deathbed. So I have figured out that no matter what's happening around me or even inside of me, right, I am going to be grateful every single day. Now I get, how you pray without ceasing. A grateful heart is in constant praise and worship. And I'm telling you right now, find a reason to make yourself proud and find a reason every day to be grateful. Because too many people are battling depression, especially in the African American community. They're very depressed, they're very unhappy, and that has a lot to do with lack of gratitude. And so again, I'm grateful every day. Oh my God, when I say I'm grateful every day, I could be cursing somebody out grateful. Ancient fight is happiness. How many of y'all can say that you're really, 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 truly happy? And you don't have to answer that question, but I know for a fact that if I was to, ask everybody to whisper in my ear if they truly was happy, I guarantee you, 99% of you would say I'm not really happy. I'm dealing with life. I'm trying to be happy, but am I really, really happy? No. Well, I tell you that you have to do everything every day to find happiness. What is it that makes you happy? What sets you on fire? This is the millionaire mindset. You have to be excited about your life, or you would never surpass where you already are. You're going to always be exactly where you are supposed to be based upon a decision and what you believe that you deserve. Trust me when I tell you this. Yes. And the T in fight is true love. Most people don't understand that true love is self-love first. You can't truly love nobody else until you truly love yourself. That's good. I woke up one day, I looked around my house. I looked around my closet. I looked at my bank account. I looked at me. And I'm like, I can't truly love myself. Because if I truly love myself, my house wouldn't look like this. If I truly love myself, I wouldn't be this overweight. If I truly love myself, I'll have a good pair of shoes in the closet. This is what I said to myself. If I truly love myself, Stormy, you don't even have a nice belt. How you love yourself? You don't even have a nice bra. That bra so old. Come on. So there's so many reasons that you can look at. If you truly love yourself, you don't leave the fine china for a fancy dinner. That's right. I eat from fine china every day whenever I feel like it because I truly love me. And so a part of the planning process is knowing what is your tools to plan with. Anybody lost a mom? You know how that makes you feel like you're in the world by yourself. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So if you have a mom, you don't know this feeling yet. Pray to God you don't have to. And so I lost everything. And I looked around my house and I was like, I kept waking up every day on the wrong side of the bed. And I was like, this is not real. There's no way. So I became aware. Write this down. I became aware that something was not right. And you attract to you who you are. So yes, Pam McCray was there every day, but guess what? She was just as depressed as I was. So she couldn't speak life into me. She couldn't tell me, what's wrong with you? This is not you. You're sleeping every day, all day. You're gaining all this weight. This is not you, because she was doing it with me. As a matter of fact, she would bring over the food to help to facilitate the family. So you become like the people you hang around. And the law of attraction is real. You hang around 5 negative people, you're going to be number 6. Come on. You hang around 5 workers, you were going to be number 6. So we were hanging out together. That was my girl. But I didn't realize that I was really in a depression. And then I woke up and I'm like, okay, God, I need to shift this. I can't have another year like this. I can't have another day like this. And I decided to read the book of Proverbs every day. Every day. It's 31. I would read every day a new proverb. And then I went to this event. I went to this Tony Robbins event. And at that event, I got there and I felt like a fish out of water because I'm in this room with all these excited white people. There probably was 8 black people in the room. True story, probably 2,000 people. I don't know why our people do not go to developmental courses. I don't know why. But I was there. I was blessed. Somebody gave me a ticket. I went. I remember sitting on like the 6th, 7th row, and I'm sitting there like, I'm about to leave. This is stupid. He got people jumping up and down. What is he talking about? I barely had gas in the car. I was hungry. I didn't have no money. But I'm sitting there. And something says, Stormy, don't leave. And he started talking about jumping up and down, how when you jump up and down, it sends endorphins to your brain that makes you feel good. And he started speaking all these words, all these words, all these words. And as I sat there, I'm listening. I said, let me get up and just start jumping and start making up stuff too. And I got up and I just started jumping. I started making up stuff. And literally my energy shifted. My energy shifted so fast. I mean, like I've never seen anything that shifted my energy so fast. Like in that moment when I began to jump up and down and speak life over my life. I went home that night and I came up with my own declaration that now I speak it every day, all day. I have women in Spanish speaking in Spanish. I have people in Africa speaking in African. I have people in French speaking in French. It has been translated right now into about 8 different languages because people want to speak life over their life as well. Yeah. So I'm going to give you guys these cards as a gift, but I'm going to speak it with you, or speak it right now. I know Pam will probably join in with me because I promise you right now, just as sure as the world was created with words, when you get into a place that you follow those 4 things that I talked about, but you first believe that you deserve the absolute best, and you're willing to sacrifice and do the work, the inside work that it's going to take for you to manifest your millions that's already waiting for you. Because you do know your millions are waiting for you, right? Because I realized that my millions was waiting for me. That's why I got it in 7 months. So I spoke every day that I would hear the voice of the Holy Spirit within. I will lead and not follow. I will create and not destroy. I am a force for good. I defy the odds. I set new standards. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am the lender and not the borrower. I am loved by God. I am chosen by God. I am protected by God. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And every tongue that rises up against me in judgment shall be condemned. It's my season. It's my season. It's my season. It's my turn. It's my turn. I'm healthy. I'm happy. I'm humble. I'm wealthy. I'm strong. I am a champion. I would never be broke another day in my life. I will live the fullness of life and all God has for me. I am in a constant state of attracting all the good that I deserve and I desire. I am in a constant state of attracting all the good that I deserve and I desire. Let me tell y'all something before I take my seat. We've been hearing for a long time, it's my time, right? How many of y'all heard it's my time? If you look at the clock, think about this for a moment. This is going to give you an awakening. You have what you believe. You have what you speak. You've been speaking, it's my time, for a very, very long time. But when you look at a clock, it continues to swivel, to turn around right there on that axis. If you don't have an intent on the desired time, that it's your time, guess what? It will never be your time. But if you realize that it's your turn means to turn about on an axis. When you think about your car, you turn the car because you take your physical power and you physically turn the steering wheel, and now the car will now turn. And so if you really believe that 2019 is going to be the turning point for you, I can't speak for y'all. Right now, I'm about to open up 2 Flying Biscuit franchises, which is a huge franchise in Atlanta, Georgia. We're opening up 2 right here in South Florida. My goal is to have 10 by 2020. My goal is to help strippers get out the strip club. My goal is to employ ex-convicts. My goal is to help people within my community get their money right, get their credit right, so they too can open up a Flying Biscuit franchise. This restaurant franchise has been around, y'all, for 25 years, 0 failure rate. The minimum store brings home about $250,000, $300,000 a year. So if I got 2 of those, plus I'm debt-free, I'm living real good, right? Yes. And so you have to know that whatever you want wants you. And next year, I'm telling y'all right now, plan for what you want to see you manifest next year. Don't speak about the problem. Speak to whatever it is that you want. Speak to the problem. Speak life over your life. And if you can, just do me one big favor. Y'all stand up, please. It's my turn. When you say it's my turn, turn means to turn about on an exit, which means you're no longer going to play small. See, I made a decision, y'all, when I looked at my life that I chose me. I was tired of choosing everybody else and being unhappy with my reality that I choose on my own. And so I realized that, you know what, Stormy, you deserve to have peace. I choose me. You deserve to have happiness. I choose me. You deserve to have love. I choose me. You deserve to have abundance. I choose me. But at the end of the day, it's about you making a decision
that it is your turn. Don't wait on nobody to open up the door for you. Listen, kick the door down yourself. I don't wait on anybody to give me permission to succeed. I give myself permission, the authority. I take dominion over my life every day. I don't care what a person thinks about me. I want to be the living example that God is really. If God is really real, why are you struggling? That doesn't make sense to me. So when you get to a place that you become aware, because here's the deal, y'all. We got to be aware of why are you here? Why am I here? Why am I here in the areas of abundance financially? Why am I here in the areas of abundance relationally? Because I made a decision that I deserve better. And so when we say it's our turn means to turn around, right? Do y'all believe that 2019 is going to turn around for you? Yes. Can you have another year like 2018? No. If you stop right here and God said you're going to keep repeating 2018 over and over and over and over and over again, I want to ask y'all a question. Would you be happy? No. Would you want to repeat this year again? No. Do you want to go beyond and go further? Yes. Do you not believe that today you got at least a few tools that can help you go beyond and go further? Yes. Are you going to commit to going beyond and going further? Yes. Do you realize your kids, the world is watching you as an example? Yes. So can I say, it's my turn? It's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn. I want to say so y'all don't get twisted real quick. I'm not here doing no speech. I'm not here trying to pump you up, trying to hype you up. I just spoke my truth. I had no notes. I just spoke my reality, what I did to turn my own life around. I didn't wait for a prophet to prophesy into my life. I love prophets. Not Pastor Virginia, I'm just helping y'all. Yes, you got to see your own future, your own self. That's good. Yes. You got to know how to lay in your bed, take a shower, be in the car, in the office, at the coffee break room, and not have to depend on somebody else to help you to manifest your own reality. Yes. Like for real. You got to get to a place that you pray every day because you're grateful. You don't wait to come to the church on Sunday to perpetrate, and then when the offering plate passes you just happy because you ain't got the money to put in the offering plate, and now your whole church is failing because they're waiting on you to be a contributor. So when you get into this place of saying, you know what, I am not a victim. Whatever happened to me was preparing me for better. Yes. It had, y'all say it had to happen. It had to happen. The failure had to happen. The betrayal, it had to happen. She had to leave you. She had to leave you. He had to leave you. The job had to fire you. The job had to fire you. Everything that happened for you, my friends, I promise you, it was all destined to set you up to pass the test. Yes. And so God bless you all. Thank you all so much. I have some declaration cards. I want to give them to you all. They're a gift from me to you. I can tell you the people that really embrace those affirmations, that become those affirmations. Again, millionaire status, y'all, is really about the mindset. Yes. It's about having that confidence, that belief, and that craziness to say, you know what, it ain't over. Please don't think it's over. It ain't over until you're dead. And if you're still alive, guess what? You can make it happen. All right? I love you all. Please take the application cards. Pastor D, thank you so much. Lady King, y'all know I love y'all. I can't wait to hear you, Prophet Virginia. And again, no disrespect to the kingdom of God, but you got to be your own church every single day. That's right. Thank you so much. All right, let's